it seems like many men don't know how to play sex. You'd think like, well, we are not taught, but people really knowing how to pleasure. We have, when we talk about it, it seems like the men are saying, oh, you know, the culturally, the Baganda, they focus mainly on the women, but people don't really focus on the men. So how can we help the men? Because it's like, medically, you know if somebody is big, if they put a pillow here, it helps sex become better. So how best can we teach men? Because first of all, men are not open. Basically, the men I know in the community are not really open. Just a few who have really had trouble whereby the women even want a divorce. Those are the ones who are really coming out to say, how best should we do it, or what else can I do? And then another situation I've noticed is like there's some women who were molested when they were young, and they tend to be frigid. So some men are not open to talk about sex and what could be hindering the sex not to be the best sex. And so how best can we help the men?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. But ideally is we are constantly trying to fix the men or trying to fix the women instead of everybody fixing themselves so that they be available in the best way possible. Because you cannot fix people. You simply fix yourself and then everything aligns to you. A good example is, imagine a woman divorcing a man or wanting a divorce because a man does not satisfy her sexually. Yet, this same woman is the one that can allow a man to give her an orgasm. Does it make sense to you? That divorce, does it make sense to you?
Well, I guess they are just frustrated that nothing is happening.
No, because
it's not complaining about.
Princess, relax. Do you think, the ideal situation is no man can give you as princess an orgasm. You allow a man to give you an orgasm. True or false?
True.
All right. So if you allow me to give you an orgasm as your man, and then I fail to give you an orgasm, will you blame the man or will you fix yourself? Because it's you who gives access to this man.
I'll fix myself.
Right?
I think many women have slept around and have so many experiences which they don't give their husbands.
Now you're getting to my point. You're getting to my point actually, because it's not about the men being unable to satisfy these women. It's about a woman getting multiple sex experiences before even getting into a marriage. By the time she's getting into a marriage, she has a threshold in her head. So she's expecting this man to play the threshold in her head. That's the wrong way of looking at it. Given that she's the one who is going to make sure that this man can actually give her an orgasm because she allows it. So that means you cannot blame the other party for your insecurities, for your own problems. All right? So because if you have multiple sex partners before a marriage, that tells you, you will raise your threshold, because there's a guy who pounded you for 1 hour, there's another one who pounded you for 3 hours, there's another one who was on drugs and pounded you for a whole night. Now you have the highest threshold in your head in terms of sexual experiences. And now this man that you're getting here could be very innocent in terms of the sexual experience, and he can give you 15 minutes. Now to you, 15 minutes are not your threshold. So you'll have to blame him. So we need to fix ourselves. Instead of trying to think of how to fix other people, I believe, or I think we need to fix ourselves before thinking of any other thing. For example, if I know that I need to have a sexual experience with a woman satisfactorily, instead of actually trying to model a woman to be me, I simply go to the gym, work out, fast, and then build myself to a level that I can actually give out satisfactory sex to any woman, regardless of her experiences. But the problem is, a woman wants me to taper myself to her needs, when in her head, she doesn't even have me as the need. She has a lot of experiences in her head. That's how sex messes up marriages. So I don't think the issue of divorce is fair, that a woman should drop the marriage because of unsatisfactory sex, when the truth is, that's why I said we should communicate, because communication is key to this. The moment we communicate, because most women will talk to other women about sex, and then they get the ideas of sex from other women, and then they come in and try to implement it in a marriage. It doesn't work that way. So if you communicate with your man, and communicate in a way that doesn't upset him, because again, before he fixes his ego and his emotions, he can actually shun you down by becoming very aggressive. So you must know that this is how I can approach this, and women are good at doing this thing. This is how I'll approach this, and I'll say this to him, I'll try to do this, and then we have an agreement. You see that? Now it becomes easier for you. But when you come out aggressive, of course the man goes into the defensive mode, and that is a problem. So yes, we should not put pressure on other people. We should not put pressure on men, and men should not put pressure on women. I think all of us are coming in with a selfish interest and a selfish goal. So for us to attain that selfish goal, we are using each other. So if we are using each other, we simply communicate. Communicate in a marriage. Instead of going to communicate to a counselor, to communicate to your husband finds out these things from a pastor. No, we should communicate in that relationship. Once you communicate, even during sex, it becomes easier for you to understand the one you're having in marriage or you're in a relationship.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Work on yourself, keep working on yourself, become better. Men should retain their semen. Women should make it easier in terms of communication because you're good at communicating. Do it and all that. Yeah. And then let me tell you this, women. The moment you start thinking about how to satisfy a man in bed, you've lost it. This man is not thinking about how to satisfy you because in his head doesn't have you. So why are you thinking about a man who is not there? You simply focus on this one that you have. Again, if your auntie or your mother is teaching you how to have sex, the truth is she is teaching you on how to have sex with either your father or your uncle. So they are teaching you how to have sex with their men. If I'm a daughter and my mother is teaching me how to have sex with a man, she's actually teaching me how she knows best to have sex with my father. That's a wrong idea. That's why people should fix their identities. Once you fix your identities, you drop all this ego and you allow things to just happen. The same thing I told you. If you teach your daughters how to behave around a man, you're teaching your daughters how to behave around your man. So you're actually converting your daughters to be your co-wife. Teach your daughters how to submit, how to respect a man and their roles. Once you do that, you allow them to just do what they have to do. Right? Life has to open up to them. The revelations will come through them. If they know God, they understand the order of God. It is simple. But if you teach her, imagine your auntie teaching you how to have sex with your man. A man that she doesn't even know. So she's actually thinking that every man is the same. But your man comes in different. And she's teaching you how best she has sex with her man. If any case, most of these people who teach you how to have sex, they are not even having satisfactory sex in their relationships. So then how do they end up teaching other people how to have sex? Maswali mengi sana mno. Okay, so until you overcome, that's why Friday is very important. I told you Friday, the shows on Fridays, they're going to become the best shows ever. All right, yeah, so they're going to become the best and you people will love it. Fixing identities is just a powerful thing. Once you work on yourself, everything aligns to you. But imagine you fail to work on yourself, you start working on other people.